In this example, we want to graph y equals 2 times the cosine of 1/2 pi x plus pi. Now this looks pretty complicated and doesn't look like the format that we normally use. I like for my b that gives me the period to be out in front of my parentheses. So I'm going to factor out the 1/2 pi. And that means that this term gets divided by 1/2 pi, which would just leave x. But this term as well has to be divided by 1/2 pi. So if you take pi and you divide by 1/2 of pi, you're going to have pi times 2 over pi, which equals 2. So now my equation looks a little bit more normal. If we go back and look at the pieces of this graph, first of all, we can see that the amplitude is equal to 2. Secondly, our period is going to be 2 pi divided by 1/2 of pi, which is equal to 4. Our phase shift is -2, which means we're going to go 2 to the left. And then we don't have a vertical shift. The vertical shift is 0. Another thing that's strange about this graph is the period is 4. Normally we write our period in terms of pi. And so we put numbers in terms of pi on our x-axis. This time I'm not going to do that because my period is 4. So it means I make one complete cosine cycle by the time I get to 4. But my graph is shifted left 2. So I have a vertical stretch of 2. I'm shifted left 2, and I have to make one complete cycle by the time we go 4 units. So I'm going to start shifted left 2 and stretched up 2, and then the cosine would go to 0, down to -2, back to 0, and up to 2. And there's one complete cycle. Notice it took 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to do that, and our period is 4. If we want to continue that same pattern on out to 6, our graph would look like this.